US SEC deems spot Bitcoin ETFs filings as inadequate, which means that they did not completely deny the applications this time. But this is interesting because we've had several Bitcoin future ETFs for a couple of years now, and just about a week ago, the SEC approved First Leverage Bitcoin Futures ETF. The US Securities and Exchange Commission has approved the First Leverage Bitcoin Futures Exchange Traded Fund on Friday. Volatility Shares 2x Bitcoin Strategy ETF is scheduled to launch on the Chicago Board Options BZX exchange next Tuesday, June 27. And while the spot Bitcoin ETFs have been denied by the SEC since 2017, Canada already has 3 significant funds: Purpose Bitcoin, 3iQ CoinShares, and CI Galaxy Bitcoin that are all directly invested in spot Bitcoin. But what is an ETF? An ETF, or exchange traded fund, bundles securities like stocks and commodities. Investors can buy shares of an ETF to gain exposure to those securities without owning them directly. In the case of Bitcoin ETFs, there have been 2 main types: Bitcoin Futures and Bitcoin Spot. So the question is then, why is the SEC okay with Bitcoin Futures ETF, but are reluctant to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF? And while we know that the SEC chair Gary Gensler is in general against crypto, we can track this back to 2017 when the former SEC chair Jay Clayton spoke against investing in cryptocurrencies. A number of concerns have been raised regarding the cryptocurrency and ICO markets, including that there is substantially less investor protection than in our traditional securities markets, with correspondingly greater opportunities for fraud and manipulation, Clayton said. So now we know that the SEC has been concerned about the risk of manipulation for quite some time now, but since they didn't exactly deny the applications this time, what exactly happened? The unnamed source said that the SEC doesn't think the Bitcoin ETF applicants have been specific enough about how they'll manage a surveillance sharing agreement. But what is a surveillance sharing agreement? Such agreements have previously provided the basis for the exchanges that list commodity trust ETPs to meet those obligations, and the Commission has historically recognized their importance. They allow for information sharing about market trading activity, clearing activity, and customer identity, the SEC has said. So what this means is that Coinbase, which is BlackRock's partner and a custodian for Bitcoin, is going to have to enter into surveillance sharing agreement with Nasdaq that is going to be the exchange for this spot Bitcoin ETF. Other asset managers, however, also partner with Coinbase for Bitcoin custody, but they decided to list the ETF on CBOE, or Chicago Board Options Exchange, which means that Coinbase needs to enter into agreement with CBOE as well. So the applications did not get completely denied by the SEC this time. Instead, they can reapply by providing more detail about surveillance sharing agreement. And this is definitely a bullish sign for me, guys. I don't think crypto is going anywhere. And to top that off, while many asset managers such as Invesco and WisdomTree piggybacked on BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF application and also already reapplied for a spot Bitcoin ETF, just a couple of days ago, Fidelity also refiled for a spot Bitcoin ETF. And while you might be thinking that BlackRock is probably going to lead the race, Cathie Wood's ARK is reportedly the first in line for a spot Bitcoin ETF. Cathie Wood's ARK Investment Management and Digital Asset Manager 21 Shares amended their application for a US spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund to add a surveillance sharing agreement. The language mimics a clause in BlackRock Inc.'s spot Bitcoin ETF filing, which landed roughly 2 weeks ago. These agreements would provide more transparency to the market and make crypto markets more consistently integrated with the way in which markets are surveilled in the United States, said Ophelia Snyder, co-founder and president of 21 Shares. So there you have it, guys. Looks like a couple more tweaks and we are right on the finish line for the first spot Bitcoin ETF. But we probably shouldn't expect it anytime soon because it's going to take the SEC some time to review it, and it has to be more diligent if it gets approved, and considering the history of spot Bitcoin ETF applications with the SEC. If you want to know how all of this is going to affect the price of Bitcoin, you can check out this video right over here. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more crypto news, and I'll talk to you guys soon.